Hey, Shalom. I'd like to begin first and foremost by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makar Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone, and salutations to the sincere Akim that push this truth and all due diligence and sincerity. It's easy sometimes to get lost in the slumps of the fact that we're in captivity, the fact that, ultimately speaking, Esau Edom reaps all the benefit and we are just basically the dross. Just a sec. It's easy to get lost in the fact that ultimately, man, like, we are still in our captivity, even though we're near the end of it. And until Yahweh Shai liberates us and we see ourselves on those chariots, man, freed from this fuckery prison that we're living in, we just gotta keep grinding and keep going. But ultimately, yeah, you better believe that we have a beautiful, beautiful, extremely beautiful future ahead of us, man, as a people. And we just literally, man, gotta listen, as the hopeful elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, stay spiritual and stay faithful, because we are the salt of the earth, man. We built everything you see before you, man. And if Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai are willing, we be members of the elect. We're the forerunners, man. The spirits that were with Yahweh Shai, the Alahayim, man. And Jacob, like I said, built everything you see currently in front of you also, in terms of these modern interventions. We're the ones that lay the foundations for all of these things that you see, like the traffic light system, the lubrication system for engine, so that trains can move the way that they do. And even this devil Trump acknowledged it. Watch this video.
Must put America first. This is a nation that invented the light bulb, the telegraph, the television, the telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, the integrated circuit, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything. What is left? We invented everything. And now it's AI. We invented everything. Does anyone have anything else to say?
Let me play that again, but you notice it was all Jake inventors, right? But he's not going to acknowledge that.
We must put America first. This is a nation that invented the light bulb, the telegraph, the television, the telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, the integrated circuit, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything. What is left? We invented everything. And now it's AI. We invented everything. Does anyone have anything else to say?
Now, of course, that devil's not going to get up there straight up and tell you the so-called blacks, Negroes, and Latinos are behind a lot of the innovation in the country, in the USA. But guess what, man? We know the truth. And even though we're the unsung heroes of this community, of this society, so like even though we're the unsung heroes of this society, we're going to be liberated and given praise, man, in the times to come, pursuant to Wisdom of Solomon 5, which I'll grab in a minute. But I want to start this off with Matthew, the 5th chapter and the 13th verse, which reads, and these are the words of Yahweh Shai as well, right? Ye are the salt of the earth. You know what that means? We give the earth its flavor, man. You ever had a meal that was just totally bland, like an Edomite woman cooked it, man, and you just literally couldn't even swallow it down? You sprinkle a little bit of salt on the shit, and even though it doesn't fix all the issues, it makes it absolutely a lot more bearable. Or you deal with like a decent enough cooked meal, but then the salt just adds a decent amount of salt where you're not gonna damage yourself. Of course, gives a decent amount of salt where you're not gonna damage yourself, gives the food that little bit of that kick to take it to the next level. That's what we are to the earth, man. We add style, we add flavor, we add innovation. Israel do, even in our fucked up lower state, man. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? But in the times that we're living in now, Jacob lost himself, completely fucked. Like, that's facts. As a people, we are absolutely fucked. But the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to reinstate that savor back into the elect, man, gradually, slowly, and ultimately, man, when the time comes, that slow transition is gonna become instant. But the Lord is building us up brick by brick, slowly and surely, man, gradually getting us back to our splendor, man. Ye are the salt of the earth, like the book of Matthew, the 5th chapter, the 13th verse reads. But if the salt have lost his savour, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. And that's what Jake are like right now, man. Literally, the offscouring and the 2/3 of our people wasted talent. They just gotta die. But right now, we like even the hopeful elects of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we're like basically pretty much the dross that people count for nothing. You know, like you finish a drink and then there's the residue at the bottom of the cup, and no one wants to deal with that. You just pour that into the bin and just get rid of it, or pour some water into the cup, dilute it, and pour it down and pour it down the sink. That's what the world looks at us like as right now. But we are the vital elements that keep this world going. However, we're in captivity, man, where the Lord has scattered us for a reproach, and we gotta endure it, knowing that we are really the innovators and the kings of the earth. But we got to bear the indignation of the Lord for our wickedness. It says, "Ye are the light of the world," and that's what we are, man. Yeah, Yoran Shalom, city of peace. We are the light of the world. We are going to go back to that status where ultimately the entire world looks to us in regards to the way to move. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. And we are literally that city, man. We are going to be the standard of beauty again upon the face of the planet Earth. We are going to be the nation that everybody looks up to for direction, and that time is coming. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. And so you see, just like that, we're gonna set forth that example of righteousness, of beauty, of brightness. Let not your let your light shine so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Now, ultimately, even in our lesser state, we still innovate, we still drive forward new creation. Why? Because we got that spirit from our Father, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shai, man. Because the Lord created us, the Lord created Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai then created us, and we then went forth and added further creation onto the earth. And ultimately, man was made in the image of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, meaning that we're many gods upon the face of the planet Earth. That is literally what it means, man. And ultimately, man, just like our Heavenly Father, we're creators, whereas this Edomite is set up to destroy, we're built to bring forth life, man. And although we don't get the credit for it, although we are the reason that this earth ticks, you go into any sort of engineering job, even if it's on the train network, it's Jake running it. You go into the financial services, it's Jake really doing the hard graft. And it's not just the Southern Kingdom, the Northern Kingdom also. Israel is moving this kingdom along, but we're not getting the public recognition for it, man. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Who's that righteous man there? Talking about the elect man. Brothers, keep your head up. Yeah, know that the Lord sees your plight. But this is the time to be fired up. This is not the time to be down in the dumps, depressed. The Lord is literally about to give us the greatest liberation, the greatest deliverance ever seen, and we need to be ready for it, man. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. And is that not Esau, Edom to a T? When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. We're gonna go literally from the slums and the favelas into 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 into, um, into palaces and and chariots, man. We're gonna be beautified by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and these Edomites are gonna be vexated, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, "This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and the proverb of reproach." They hate us, man. They absolutely hate us. But guess what? The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai loves his elect, man, and he's going to maintain and deliver us. We fools accounted his life a madness and his end to be without honor. The 2/3, and of course, Esau, Edom, the average Edomite. Look at these devils. There's like a lot here in England. There's loads of protests on going where these devils are basically attacking Jake, attacking all these other ethnic groups. They're trying to throw Jake in the midst of them, basically saying that they don't want us around in their country and they want us out here. But guess what? Hey, Britain, man, the land of the covenant, man. To be British, come on, bro. We rule this nation, and ultimately, we are the sovereign people of this land. You want to go into the Black Kings of Europe? Come on, bro. These Edomites here got some fucking nerve, but the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to liberate us and make us visibly great in the face of our enemies again. And pursuant to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, in the face of our enemies, man, they're gonna have to reverence us. They're gonna have to give us the respect due. The Lord is literally going to make us a nation of kings and priests. When we drive forward innovation, is going to be carried through and attributed to us correctly. When we what's the word I'm looking for? When we basically pretty much when we drive change, when we drive any sort of social justice, when we drive any sort of new innovation, hey man, it's rightfully going to be attributed ultimately to the Lord Yahweh because all wisdom and knowledge comes from him. But Jacob are going to be given the credit they deserve, man. Like, we built America, but guess what? The Lord's going to flatten that shit and use his wisdom and might through us, of course, to bring forth new innovations greater than all of those of old. This is going to be a new Idan better than the original paradise. And you think about Solomon and his wisdom that the Lord gave unto him. The Lord's going to bless us abundantly, man. Abundantly with the wisdom and knowledge of everything. Literally to the point where questions like when Ezra was being asked what the weight of a flame is will be known unto us. We're going to know everything, man. Wisdom and knowledge, man, shall be the stability of our times in these difficult times that we're going into, and it's going to be translated onto us for eternity, man, and the kingdom to come. So I just wanted to do this quick video to exhort you, brothers, and remind you who you are, man. We are Yasha Allah, man. He, Prince of the Power, and Lord willing, the elect of the elect nation, man. Keep your head up. Endure the hell. Fight a good fight, man. Remember Sirach, the second, Sirach, the second chapter in it. If thou canst serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, man. Make no haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at that last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. You know the picture, man. We are innovators and we're going to get out of this, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, and then we'll be given the due credits. Stay up, Akim. Shalom.